Hey, what's up, guys? MaximusBlack here, bringing you a best of 3 little mini series that me and a member of D2D Gamer decided to go ahead so I can get some practice against Terran. But let me introduce the players. Whoop. We got Spun down here in the bottom left position. He is a master level Zerg, or Terran. Yes, Jeff, Zerg. And up top right here we have myself. Now, I know a lot of people were asking me to start doing other builds and stuff like that instead of, you know, just going 4-gate all the time. And that is exactly what I've been doing. I've been getting some coaching and some training from a guy in Australia. And I've also been watching a lot of coaching feeds on Justin TV, a whole bunch of different ones. And I've been watching a lot of Day 9, so shoutouts to Day 9. Hit me out with that collab, homie. So, and he jokingly says NR20. I'm like, no. So, yeah, I guess I'm just going to cast this this little series of 3 here. It's a best of 3, and obviously the first person who wins 2 games will take it, and it should be interesting. They were fun games, and there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about specifically on my end, and it also gives me a chance to watch the replays again. See what I did wrong and what I can improve on in the future, and of course give you guys some entertainment. So it looks like Spun is going to go ahead and get his barracks and his refinery. A lot of Terran players are putting their supply depot in and around their command center, and I've said this before. I mean, I'm not a Terran player, but a lot of the time as they do this so that they're protected, and it's a way of blocking off the mineral line in case something comes in. Like, of course, you'll put it down for now, but say, you know, a rush of zealots came in here, or even if you're playing Zerg, usually you'd wall up, but, you know, if they come in here, this is nice and blocked. They just can't run in. They kind of have to run around, and it makes their openings a lot smaller. If we go take a look at up this way, we got my 1 gateway down. We got my Cybernetics core going. Double assimilator, so that right there tells you that I'm going to be going for a heavy gas build. Now, I don't know if I planned. I'm pretty sure I do a 3-gate robo here. And that is, you know, pretty typical against a Terran player. Or a 3-gate fast expand is also pretty popular as well. And Spun is a pretty damn good micro player. He's also pretty good at spending his money and macroing as well. He's just basically a solid player all around, and I kind of struggle in the macro department. My micro is getting a little better, although I do have to start working on my sentry play, my force field play a lot more. My force fields have basically just been shitting the bed all over the place. I'm taking a zealot all around here to make sure that there is no SCV in my base, but it looks like he is going to hide a little SCV in the bushes there. Look at that. That's like a forest. It's like just random tall ash trees and just one little line of them. It's like someone just planted some trees with no leaves, just branches, so that SCVs can hide in them. Yes. Also, I have taken both towers so I can see when he is going to be pushing up. And right now, I'm about to find that out. I'm bringing down a probe to see if an expansion was happening. And I can see that there is 2 Marauders and a Marine on the way. I am getting my robotics facility up now. 2 gateways. I'm chronoing this warp gate research. And I'm also going to bring out a sentry as well, just in case he tries to get up this ramp. I can cut his units in half, or at least delay him coming up here. A lot of Terrans apply this pressure with a few units at the start to really see what's going on, and sometimes Protoss players just are not ready for it, and they can often win the game with just very few units, and they can smell blood and they keep going. But it looks like Spun was just gonna go up there, make sure he can get rid of these my probes that were on the towers, and basically he's gonna go and do a fast expansion himself. Basically only got 2 barracks, putting down a 3rd now, getting an engineering bay, probably getting an engineering bay to get level 1 upgrades, and I'm also notorious for getting Dark Templar, so a lot of players that know me and know my style of play will get prepared for Dark Templar at some part in the game, because I just think DTs are a great unit. I know that I've been using them, or I had used them a lot in the past, basically all in with DTs. But I still think DTs, no matter what, are very, very useful units if you can use them correctly, if you always know how much energy is at the orbital command, if you can get some scouting up and see that, yes, in fact, he is using mules, a lot of his energy is being used, but it looks like I am coming down with quite the sizable army here. Spun really should watch out. This one Immortal, if I can micro correctly, can do some serious damage against all these Marauders. It looks like he is going to be running up here. Take a look at his vision. He did see that I do have a WAP load of units. I don't know if he caught that on the mini-map or not. But this would be my time right now to go down there and attack. I have the base wide open. I could definitely stop this play. I am going to need a sentry in my base to block off the force field. He is going to be able to catch a couple of sentries in the middle of the field. That was a mistake by me. And this, unfortunately, let him know that I was on my way down there. I am going to catch him here. He is going to stun off and go into the mist here, but it looks like he's actually going to come up here and do a counterattack. And that extra bit of speed from the stun is going to help him out. He's going to be able to pick off 2 easy stalkers, and it looks like he's actually going to run right up into my ramp. This is going to hurt me pretty bad. He is in the base right now, immediately attacking that pylon, but now going into the mineral line, I quickly move off my probes, saying, I don't think so, and I throw up a random force field, blocking off one of those Marauders at least. And here we are. This one Immortal is going to do the damage that I needed to do to take out this army. Immortals are just so deadly against Marauders. It's kind of scary. And that is basically a Terran's worst enemy when you are going heavy Marauders, is a couple of Immortals. And I quickly defend that off. Minimal damage that had been done on that attack. He got rid of maybe, 1 or 2 probes. I take a look at the units lost. Still, I've only lost 13 units, opposed to his 14. A couple of them were sentries, a couple of them were stalkers. He did do a little bit of damage. I obviously lost more resources since the start of the game, but that could have been a lot worse. I think right now I probably should have poked my head down here and started setting up shop out here, put a proxy down and started applying some pressure. He is getting some heavy bunkers right now, and that is a sign of a Terran player that's a little bit scared. I definitely have the army right now. 2 Immortals, a bunch of Stalkers. I got some Warp Gates. If I were to just pop my head right down here, I have an Observer. I don't know why. I'm at least not pushing down, and here we go. I am going to go down here. If I wait much longer, the Terran player, he's doing what a Terran does and walling up. Look at all these mules here collecting mass amounts of minerals. If we take a look at the income tab, 2,000 minerals a minute coming in for Spun right now, and only 700 for myself. I need to apply pressure now, or that is going to be a lot for me to handle. And, there's a couple of things that I can see that I'm obviously doing wrong here. First, I'm not upgrading. That's one thing that, I should be doing, and that's one thing that Spun is doing. I'm attacking a bunker that does not have any units in it whatsoever. Basically, a pointless bunker to attack. Needs to back up. He does have a ghost in here, and those EMPs are absolutely freaking deadly against a Protoss player, especially if I really want to use some Guardian Shield and or Force Fields. Those EMPs are going to get rid of basically anything and everything that the Protoss army can throw at them, and I am warping in a bunch of sentries. I really do need to use proper force fields here, or that is not going to be good. I am engaging right now. Do I totally agree on this? No, and the EMP goes up, and he manages to pick off one Immortal, and the second Immortal goes down, and that is not good for me. I need to back up now. What a beautiful play by Spun, taking out my 2 big units in that army, and of course getting rid of my sentries. Wow, oh wow, that was a play, and I'm sitting there going back down, pretending I'm a little stronger than what I actually am, hoping and praying at this point that he does not counter. I managed to get up another gateway. I am bringing out a Giraffe on the field and getting that Thermal Lance upgrade for the Giraffes, but right now I am in a lot of trouble. Still no upgrades for me. I'm doing a decent job at keeping my minerals down, but still no full saturation on my second, and this is deadly, folks. Couple of medevacs in there. Looks like he is going to prepare to do some sort of drop. Oh no, this is not looking great. It looks like he's going to do a 2-prong attack. Now, where is he going to do this at? We take a look down here. He is still doing his thing, building up mass amounts of units, now getting out his third. And here we go. This is the Terran pressure that every player absolutely hates. And, that is my fault. I should have something over here in the bushes, maybe even a couple of pylons up here, a cannon or two to try to, I should know better that a Terran is either going to do a drop over here or come over here on the ramp. And it looks like we are going to see an attack here. I am bringing a giraffe. He does see that from the scan, so he's quickly backing off. And I think I'm going to go down here and chase him, maybe. I am not sure. And Spun being very, very cautious of that giraffe because these giraffes are game changers. And really, there he goes. He is backing off. But little do I know, he's hiding over here in the bushes, waiting for that perfect moment to attack. Another giraffe now out on the field. It looks like he is going to come up around the side. It looks like, oh, no, he is. Oh, yeah, no, he's undecided. He does not know what to do. He does a scan off. I do not agree with this. Nice force field by me, and he's just running in units. That was an absolutely horrible mistake by him, and I think that is because he was doing a two-prong attack, and he basically lost all. Oh, but I leave a ghost alive there. Thank God he does not have enough energy. Actually, he does. No, he does not have enough energy for an EMP. My bad. That was a decent two-prong attack, but at the same time, it was a fail because the bulk of his units all took the wrath of my giraffes and my stalkers in some decent force field play. He did not do the attack command. Instead, he was just running up there, and he took a beating for it. I am all ready for this attack. Going to be able to take out all of these Marines, and things are starting to look a little bit up for me, but in the meantime, if I take a look at the income, he is still ahead of me by about 400 minerals per minute. His third is now finished. He's probably going to start saturating that at any given moment. I am doing a decent job at my probe, keeping my probes up and continuously building probes. I do have 42 opposed to his 47 SCVs, but those mules are scary, scary things. I definitely, pardon me, I definitely could be bringing down some of these probes and start saturating up this. And look at this, I am putting up a bunch of pylons here because he did supply block me there. And not only that, it's going to be good to have so that I can see if any other drops are happening. He is bringing a bunch of SCVs down. He still did not destroy these rocks. More barracks going up for my man, Spun. What a great game so far, and there it is. The Dark Shrine is now going up for myself, and that scan is actually not going to see that shrine. It is out of vision. This shrine here can be... Now, when I got my DT... And at this point in the game, I don't expect to win. Oh, but there's the scan. He totally sees my Dark Shrine now. He is definitely going to be ready for it. Now, my thought process in getting the Shrine at this point, look at that, a couple of missile turrets quickly going up, is they're basically going to be used for specifically harassing third expansions. That is it. That's all I really want to use it for. And that is basically just to piss off my opponent and to keep him off his game and to keep that paranoia in his eyes. But look at this, we do have an attack. A couple of EMPs go off, but they do next to no damage whatsoever on the units. Well, they can't do any damage, but they didn't get rid of any shields or anything. But those Vikings are going to be able to pick off my giraffes very, very easily. And oh man, that is just too much. A nice sexy EMP just went down for a Spun, and he steamrolls my entire army, and at this point I'm in a lot of trouble. My proxy pylon goes up, and I do get in 4 DTs here. Gonna be able to get rid of this expansion, or at least slow it down. A couple of DTs over here doing some damage. Actually, it's just one. He does do a scan off, but it's basically just a waste. And I'm not trying to brag or anything about my DT play, but I have very good awareness of command center's energies. If you're gonna be a DT player, you have to know when to attack. Wait for the Terran player to do a scan, or wait for those mules to come down before you go ahead and do any kind of DT harassment at this point in the game. But at this point, it is just harassment. I cannot win a game with DTs, and basically, I am way behind right now in the mineral department, and basically in every department in this game. I am bringing down more DTs, and this is out of pure desperation. I am just trying to keep him busy. Keep him busy with defending against DT. Nothing more, nothing less. Trying to buy myself some time so I can get a saturation. And a lot of players don't know this, but EMPs can actually see cloaked units as well. So if you are out of scans, if you do not have missile turrets, and you have a couple of ghosts in your arsenal, you can definitely throw down an EMP on top of them to see them for that split second while your units pick them off, and Spun is doing a great job at doing that. I did not get rid of that expansion, but I definitely did slow down the process of that getting saturated. Finally, I'm over here, have a fully saturated natural expansion. I do need to get a third up right away, and I think that is what I plan on doing at this point. A couple of probes going over. I think I'm going to be... And look at this, another attack with DT, and I managed to destroy that command center. Right now, I'm getting a little greedy. I need to back off right now. The damage has been done. I'm basically keeping him at bay at the 2 base, and that is all I can hope and pray for at this point. He is still upgrading. He does have level 1. I do have level 1 attack, but I still should be upgrading. At this point in the game, I should at least have level 2, and that would make a world of difference in the battlefield. But look at this. I think Spun has had enough. I think he is up to my tricks. He knows what I'm doing, and a couple of DTs over here picking off some units on the way up, trying to make that army as small as possible before he gets up to my base. But this here is just death. I do not think I'm going to be able to stop this army. That is just way too much. At this point, I can only hope and pray that my DTs can basically keep delaying this attack and cutting down his army before he gets up there. I do have a couple of DTs in that EMP going off, and at this point, I need to stop making DTs, and I need to start making units, because this is just not working out for me anymore. A random ass scan going off over there. A couple of DTs in here. I'm quickly backing off, trying to get him back in there to do some damage, but this is just way too much units. Still no third base going up yet for Spun, but I don't think he's gonna need it at this point. I do have a couple of DTs warping more in. Does he have any energy? He is gonna be able to get one scan off here in just a second. He does pull off one scan and getting rid of that DT very quickly. I am running off at this point, trying to go over here to saturate my third, and he's chasing him. Wow, oh wow, what an intense game this is. I'm taking down a DT to see if he has a third base, but he does not. I think Spun is basically just pushing all in at this point. A couple of more DTs in here, just upsetting Spun. And it must be very, very, you know, upsetting as a Terran player or any player that is just having non-stop harassment by DTs. And he is having enough of it. He is going to take out my shrine right now. And that is all she wrote. Putting off a scan, gonna be able to pick off one of my DTs. I still do have 3 of them left out on the field. I am now down to 26 probes opposed to 56, but when you think about it, it is a very, very even game in the income department. In fact, I have more, he may have more SCVs than me than probes, but nothing is mining minerals at this point. He is going for the win, and I think he smells blood, and he's going for it. I still do have 2 DTs out there at this point. I am forced to build a bunch of zealots because I just do not have the gas or anything like that to do any kind of damage. And I think we are going to see a GG up by me at any given second. I tried to keep it alive as long as possible, but you know, this was basically a training match for me against a good Terran player, and I think it went by pretty well. Obviously, I should have upgraded. I could have pushed near the beginning a little bit sooner and applied a little bit more pressure than what I did at the start. I still don't think I would have won this game just by the way I played. I don't think there was really any point in the game where I had a decisive chance to take the game. But with that being said, I feel as though I played fairly well, especially against a Terran player at this caliber. And you know, my PvP game is fairly strong, at least I like to think it is, and my PvT is probably my next in line. I have been getting a lot of practice against Zerg players, and my PvZ is actually coming a long, long way. But this here, I throw it to GG, and that is going to be game 1, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we're going to have some more games up. Spun taking the series 1 to 0 at this point. This has been MaximusBlack. Peace out.